Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha News. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. Both houses of parliament adjourned sine die. Rajya Sabha clocks over 90% productivity in the budget session, informs Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu. 19 bills passed in 23 sittings of 253rd session of the Upper House. Rajya Sabha passes the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021 on the last day of the budget session. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says the bill will facilitate the development of derivative market and other financial instruments. And Rajya Sabha bids farewell to 3 retiring MPs, Abdul Wahab of the IUML, K.K. Ragesh of the CPIM and Vaila Ravi of the Congress. Chairman Naidu praises their contributions. Tenure of the 3 members from Kerala ending on the 21st of April. Both houses of parliament were adjourned sine die on Thursday after the conclusion of the budget session ahead of the scheduled 8th April. The nearly 2-month-long budget session was curtailed due to the demand by various political party leaders to end the session due to the upcoming assembly elections in 4 states and 1 union territory. Here's a report. The 253rd session of Rajya Sabha ended on Thursday. In his valedictory address, the chairman congratulated the members for high productivity. Giving a brief account of the performance of the House, the Rajya Sabha chairman said the upper house functioned for a total of 104 hours as against the total scheduled time of 116 hours. Against a total of 33 sittings scheduled from the 29th of January to 8th of April, the House concluded after holding 23 sittings.
As against total 33 sittings scheduled from January 29th to April 8th, we are concluding after having 23 sittings. The budget session provided opportunities to members of this House to deliberate on the issues concerning economic growth and recovery, especially in the post-COVID phase. Honorable members, this House functioned for a total of 104 hours and 23 minutes against the total scheduled time of 116 hours and 31 minutes during these 23 sittings.
The productivity of the House, including both parts of the budget session, has been about 90%, while the productivity of the first part of the session from 29 January to 12 February has been 99.06%. The productivity of the second part, that began on the 8th of March, comes to about 85%.
This, in effect, means the productivity of this House, including both the parts of this budget session, has been about 90%. While the productivity of the first part of the session has been 99.6%, productivity of the second part of the session that began on March 8th comes to about 85%. A total of 21 hours and 26 minutes of the House has been lost due to disruptions during this session. Comforting, however, is the fact that as against this loss, the House sat beyond the scheduled time for about 14 hours and 28 minutes to complete the legislative and other business.
The discussion on the motion of thanks on the President's address took place on 4 days with a duration of 15 hours and 37 minutes, with 50 members taking part in the discussion. The Union Budget was discussed for 10 hours and 43 minutes on 3 days, with 45 members participating in it. In the legislative business, the House passed 19 bills, including the return of the appropriation bills and the finance bill. 34 hours and 4 minutes were spent on the discussion on these bills, which is about 42% of the total functional time spent on legislative business. As many as 199 members participated in the discussion on the bills. The working of Jal Shakti, Railways and Tourism Ministries was discussed for 11 hours and 13 minutes. 61 members participated in the discussion on the functioning of these ministries. Members raised 273 issues of urgent public importance through 163 zero-hour submissions and 110 special mentions. 113 starred questions were orally answered, which comes to 34% of the total 329 starred questions listed. During the recess, 8 department-related parliamentary standing committees examined the demands for grants of the related ministries and presented 28 reports. Kriti Mishra's report for Sansad TV. Parliament passed the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021, with the upper house passing it on Thursday. The bill paves the way for the creation of a development finance institution which will help fund long-term infrastructure projects in the country. As part of the national infrastructure pipeline, the government plans to invest 111 trillion rupees in 7,671 infrastructure projects in the next 4 years, that is till 2024. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the institution aims to address market failures that stem from the long-term, low-margin and risky nature of infrastructure financing. The Lok Sabha had passed the bill earlier this week.
Professionally run, the government will appoint only the chairman. But the institutional arrangement for the appointments of members or the MDs and the DMDs will be done and recommended by the Bank Board Bureau, the BBB, and it will be vetted and finalized by the Nomination and Remuneration Committee of the board. So the appointments will be done by the board and not by the government, so it will have to be professionally run. Clause 26 in Chapter 6 of the Act itself, which is before us for consideration, and there you will see in paragraph 5, and I read that as a quotation from here, the institution, which is this institution that we are considering today, the institution shall furnish to the central government and the Reserve Bank within 4 months from the date on which its accounts are closed and balanced, a copy of its balance sheet and accounts, together with a copy of the auditor's report and a report of the working of the institution during the relevant year. Honorable Member Satish Mishra did raise, why only 5 years? No, every year. But the report later by a third party is on once in 5 years. But here we are saying every year. So the working of the institution during the relevant year, and the central government shall, as soon as maybe after they have received by it, cause the same to be laid before each house of the parliament. We are getting that report, audited report, to be placed in each of the house of the parliament. Now, the institution shall furnish from time to time to the central government and to the Reserve Bank of India such returns as the central government or the Reserve Bank may require. Every time the government would want something from them, they will demand of it, and it will have to be submitted by them.
This bill is a very ambitious bill. The Finance Minister, in her speech, has already outlined what this organization will do. She has provided 20,000 crores in this budget, and she is hoping that in 5 years from now, the loan portfolio will be 5 lakh crores. The initial paid-up capital of this company is going to be 1 lakh crores, and the government shall hold, shall, not may, shall hold a minimum of 26%. This is a government company.
A separate financial dedicated institution is required to propel the economy, and today I'm sure the financial market will be extremely happy, and especially when they see the bill which embodies all the relevant aspects of a financial development financial institution which should be having to ensure that it plays a very important and pivotal role in developing and financing the infrastructure space.
Sir, this DFI NABID is expected to create a lending portfolio of at least $5 trillion. 5 trillion rupees, 5 trillion rupees in about 3 years. This is a huge sum, sir, which will potentially revolutionize Indian infrastructure, generate jobs, boost employment, and lead to a virtuous cycle of economic growth in our country.
Sir, the bill also provides for any person to set up DFI by applying to RBI. Setting up a new DFI in India through budgetary and legislative measures is not a difficult task, but big challenge will be emerge once established. It should ensure that it will be well capitalized and well managed and remain committed to the It's a distinct goal and core value, sir.
I would like to know from the Honorable Minister whether DFI covers 1. Social infrastructure such as education, healthcare, water supply, urban infrastructure, green infrastructure, and digital infrastructure such as automation technologies, artificial intelligence, 5G, blockchain technologies, etc. Or does it focus only on conventional sectors like power, roads, telecom, etc.?
बड़ी कंपनियां आए, ठीक है, देश का विकास होना चाहिए, लेकिन देश के जो बेरोजगार हैं, यहाँ देश के लोग हैं जो चाहते हैं सरकारी उस पर ज़्यादा विश्वास है उनका, तो उसमें उनको ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है। क्योंकि इस बिल में जो सबसे बड़ी बात हमने कही है कि सब जांचों से बाहर रखा गया है, इसलिए इसको सेलेक्ट कमेटी भेजने की आवश्यकता है।
आपने बजट में भी कहा था कि 7,000 प्रोजेक्ट्स हैव बीन आइडेंटिफाइड अंडर द नेशनल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पाइपलाइन। मैं माननीय वित्त मंत्री साहिबा से जानना चाहूँगा कि इसमें से बिहार के हिस्से में कितना है। सन 47 के बाद से बिहार को उसका हिस्सा, उसका हक नहीं मिला है। बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें हुई, लेकिन बिहार सर, और मैं फिर दोहराता हूं कि बिहार के विकास की भूख को इस पाइपलाइन में कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स लीजिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में और उस भूख को खत्म करिए।
Madam, every government needs strength to implement any infrastructure projects. Madam, if a project is stalled due to any reason, and if it is not received with specific time frame, it will become stressed assets. The bank which finances the projects will face the issue of NPA. There are various bottlenecks in the infrastructure projects implementation. There are several instances various international funding agencies pull out from the projects.
And the upper house bid farewell to 3 retiring members from Kerala: Indian Union Muslim League leader Abdul Wahab, Communist Party of India Marxist leader K.K. Ragesh, and Congress's Vaila Ravi are due to retire on the 21st of April. Chairman Naidu lauded the contribution of these retiring members. Listen in.
We leaving the house, but their contribution will leave an indelible mark on this august institution, which the members as well as the newly elected members will continue to cherish and benefit from them. I place on record my heartfelt appreciation for the valuable contribution and service rendered by them to this august institution and to the society at large. The House will certainly miss their vivacious presence and their unwavering commitment to the issues pertaining to the state of Kerala and also to the national issues of importance. I wish the retiring members good health, happiness, and many more years of service to the nation. They are only retiring, but they are not tired.
The Congress party has given me the opportunity to serve the people of our country as a member of Lok Sabha for 2 terms and Rajya Sabha for 4 terms. And between I became a cabinet minister for 8 years. I am very thankful to the Congress party and the leader of Indira Gandhi and others for giving me this opportunity to serve our nation, the Mother India.
If Rajya Sabha is here, I will try to come again, and I hope so. And all my respect to you, especially being the chairman, gave me a lot of chances, and I tried my level best as a member of parliament. I appreciate whatever political, ideological differences between Modi ji, but his one project which attracted me, this village adoption. This I have done my level best, and according to the Government of India, I got the 5th rank in my this one, Sansad Adarsh Grama Yojana, this one.
And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.